who embodied both good and evil into two entities, one representing good and the other representing evil, an arrangement in line with the principle. For this reason, God gave Adam two sons, representing good and evil, and set them in positions where each dealt with only one master, God or Satan. After setting up this arrangement, God had the two sons offer sacrifices separately. Cain and Abel were both sons of Adam. Which one of them was to represent goodness and relate with God, and which was to represent evil and interact with Satan? Both Cain and Abel were the fruits of Eve's fall. Hence, their relative positions were determined according to its course. Eve's fall was consummated through two different illicit love relationships. The first was the spiritual fall through her love with the Archangel. The second was the physical fall through her love with Adam. Certainly, the two relationships were both fallen acts. Yet between the two, the second act of love was more in line with the principle and more forgivable than the first. Eve's first fallen act was motivated by her excessive desire to enjoy what it was not yet time for her to enjoy and have her eyes opened, like God. For this desire led her to consummate a relationship of unprincipled sexual love with the Archangel. In comparison, Eve's second fallen act was motivated by her heartfelt longing to return to God's bosom, after she realized that her first fallen relationship had been illicit. This desire led her to consummate a relationship with Adam, her intended spouse, according to the principle, even though God did not yet permit it. 5. Cain and Abel were both fruits of Eve's illicit love. God discriminated between them based on Eve's two illicit acts of love, and accordingly placed Cain and Abel in two opposing positions. In other words, since Cain was the first fruit of Eve's love, signifying Eve's first fallen act of love with the Archangel, he was chosen to represent evil. Therefore, he was in a position to relate with Satan. Since Abel was the second fruit of Eve's love, signifying Eve's second fallen act of love with Adam, he was chosen to represent goodness. Therefore, he was in a position to relate with God. For his part, Satan had seized control of the creation, which God had created by the principle, and established an unprincipled world, having only the outward form of God's intended universe. In the original, principled world, God intended to raise up the eldest son, and have him inherit the birthright. Therefore, Satan felt a stronger attachment to the elder son than he did to the younger. Since Satan had already claimed the universe, he vied with God for the elder son, Cain.